BFTB. Best fight the best. Fuck Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. Let's start this video off right. Bomb Squad. Just in case y'all curious. So, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, Wilder, the one and only real champ, finally said, fuck you, pay me, to Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. So, you know, y'all played this fucking card, y'all played your card, y'all strung this man along for months, acting like you wanted this fight when you really didn't. You've made outrageous demands that Wilder bent over backwards to agree to, and you still found a way to skate out of this fight. Even when Wilder felt he had you backed in the corner and agreed to all your bullshit, you still found a way to skate out. So, you have officially performed the greatest duck in boxing history. And now I hope Deontay Wilder never gives you that payday. I hope he never gives you that payday. Never. I don't give a fuck if people say, oh, you want Deontay Wilder to duck Anthony Joshua. Because that's what these pussies be saying. You want Deontay Wilder to duck Joshua. If Deontay Wilder is ducking Anthony Joshua, he does a shitty job at doing it. Offering somebody $50 million to fight you, the exact same $50 million that they asked for, you know, that is a shitty way to duck somebody. He needs to, like, actually sit back and study Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua to find out how it's done. But, you know, I'm going to go over it, man. I don't care if people are tired of hearing it. I don't care, man. I'm going over it. I don't care. I'm not taking my foot off their throat. I'm not. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? 2016. In 2016, Eddie Hearn came out and said, Anthony Joshua sparks Deontay Wilder out in 3 rounds. In 2016, Eddie Hearn said, oh, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua said, oh yeah, that'll be a big fight for the future. So Deontay Wilder said, well, I mean, I was going to let the young boy live, but if you fucking saying you knock me out in 3 rounds, well, you know, let's not make the fight for the future. Let's make the fight now. That was in 2016, ladies and gentlemen. But then they were like, oh, Deontay Wilder's trying to cherry pick Anthony Joshua. This was the excuses y'all were making. You know, the same fan bitches that made up all the rest of the excuses. This was the excuses y'all were making. Deontay Wilder was trying to cherry pick Anthony Joshua. When Deontay Wilder said, let's make the fight now. You know, they were saying that Anthony Joshua didn't have enough experience yet. Even though he was the IBF champion. He had just bought that belt for like $5 million off of Charles Martin. You know, he was an IBF champion. So, you know, he had a title, but yet he didn't have the experience. He was inexperienced. He was too inexperienced to fight Deontay Wilder. This is the same Deontay Wilder that y'all slam and criticize and say Anthony Joshua is actually better than. But the excuse you were using back then, 2 years ago, was that Anthony Joshua was inexperienced. He was too inexperienced. He only had this many fights, 19 fights or whatever he had. But y'all weren't saying that about Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Lomachenko's pound for pound number 1 to y'all. These same fighters. And Lomachenko has less fights than fucking Anthony Joshua. Now you want to talk about amateur fights? Fine, bring amateurs in. Fine. Anthony Joshua has more than Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua has a gold medal, remember? This is the excuse y'all use. Y'all say Anthony Joshua was better because he has a gold medal, blah, blah, blah. But then you use the opposite of that and say Anthony Joshua shouldn't fight Deontay Wilder because he's too inexperienced. And Deontay Wilder's trying to cherry pick him. That was the argument in 2016. That was it in 2016. And Wilder didn't even call the dude out. You know what I'm saying? He was called out. He just addressed it like a true champion. But moving on. You know, 2017. You know, we're pressing for Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. They're making all kinds of excuses about, you know, Vladimir Klitschko and how they beat Eric Molina better and all this other nonsense, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Just absolute bullshit. But that itself changed the rhetoric because it was, oh, Wilder only fights bums. You know what I'm saying? But mysteriously, when Joshua fights the same guys that y'all call bums, you know, Jason Gavin, Eric Molina, you know, and Wilder's leftovers, and Carlos Takam. You know what I'm saying? When Joshua fights them, then mysteriously those fighters mysteriously turned into good competition. So I was thinking about this, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about this, and I was trying to be as objective or subjective, however you want to call it, as I possibly could. Maybe they are bums. But if they are bums, and they're only bums to Deontay Wilder, and they're not bums to Anthony Joshua, well then that means Deontay Wilder is just that good. Deontay Wilder is just that good. He's so much better than Anthony Joshua that all the fighters that he fights are bums. They're all bums compared to his skill set. They're all bums. You know what I'm saying? But when Joshua fights him, because Joshua's skill set is not on Wilder's level, then they're actually good competition for Joshua. There is no, does that make sense? There is no none of that, because that's what it is. It's either one of the two. The second one is, y'all are just some bitch-ass motherfucking haters, man. It's one of the two. You don't have it both ways. Either you're hating on Deontay, you're just fucking hating on him for no reason whatsoever. You're hating on this man for no reason. Either it's that, or Deontay Wilder is so much better than Anthony Joshua that anybody he fights is a bum. Even if when Joshua fights the exact same people, they're more on Joshua's level, so they're not a bum. But Deontay Wilder is so far ahead of them that they are bums when they fight him. Those are your only two options. You do not have it any other way. Because there's a comparison here. If Wilder and Joshua never fought any of the same fighters, but then fine. Then you can say all Wilder's fighters are bums. And I can say all Joshua's fighters are bums. We can make that argument. We can do that all day. But since they have two common opponents, and then one opponent that is Wilder's leftovers. If that's the case, if those are facts, they have two common opponents. They both knocked them out. Wilder knocked out Gavin, and Wilder knocked out Molina. And then after Wilder knocked them out, a year afterwards, Joshua fought those same exact people. A year respectively. A year later, he fought Gavin after Wilder knocked Gavin out. A year later, he fought Molina after Wilder knocked Molina out. So, two fighters, both of them got knocked out by Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. The only difference is Wilder did it first. And when Wilder did it, they were considered bums. But when Joshua did it, they weren't considered bums. They were considered good competition. And y'all prefaces that with, oh, well, look how Joshua destroyed them better. Joshua beat them better. The last I checked, the name of the game is to win. That's the last I checked. If you look at somebody's resume, it will say, this fighter beat that fighter by either majority decision, split decision, or that fight was a draw, it was a TKO, or it was a KO. That's what it will say. It will not say, oh, this fighter and this fighter both beat that fighter, but there isn't a BB. You know what I'm saying? There isn't a beat better. There isn't that on there. You have TKO for technical knockout, KO for straight knockout, like Wilder did many of his opponents. Then you have DQ for disqualification. You got D for draw. There is no BB on there. There is no beat better. So, while all you fucking weirdos are coming at me with this, oh, well, you know, Joshua beat Deontay Wilder. I mean, Joshua beat Gavin and Molina better. Look what he did. No. There's nothing in the record books that says that. It says you beat them or you didn't. And how you beat them. KO, TKO, draw, split decision, majority decision. It says those things. It doesn't say BB. It doesn't say BBD. Beat better than Deontay. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. That is your opinion. My opinion is Anthony Joshua beat Deontay Wilder's leftovers. They were damaged. They were never the same. When Spilka got destroyed, he looked like trash when he fought Kanaki after that. He hasn't looked the same since. You know what I'm saying? When fighters beat, when Joshua beats fighters, they're okay. Shit, they come back and have wins. Look at Dillian White. Joseph Parker is coming back fighting Dillian White next. Shit, I mean, it's pathetic. But anyways, moving on. So, 2017, Eddie Hearn comes out, you know, because the pressure is on him. Eddie Hearn comes out and says, listen, guys, settle down. Settle down, eh? Let's have a chin wag about this. Settle down, eh? The fight will happen in 2018. It has to happen. The fight will happen. Do you hear me? The fight will happen in 2018. Probably summertime or late 2018, but it will happen. These are his words. Eddie Hearn said this on multiple occasions. But mysteriously, the fight's not happening. And I told y'all this back then. And all I got back then was, hey man, it has been decreed. Eddie Hearn has said it. As if he's fucking Moses. So it has been decreed, you know, by Eddie Hearn that this fight will happen in 2018. Let the man do his job. That's what y'all said to me. That's what y'all said. Let him do his thing. It's going to happen. Chill out. Calm down. And Deontay Wilder's going to get knocked out. Just relax. That's what y'all said to me. Well, here we are. 2018. And this punk pussy coward is talking about 2019. And I'll get to that. But, you know, moving on. In March of this year, Eddie Hearn says, this is a bigger fight than Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. In March of this year. Google it if you don't believe me. Google it. Eddie Hearn said that in March of this year. Google March 2018. Eddie Hearn says Deontay Wilder versus Joshua is bigger than Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. Google it. Okay? Because y'all don't believe shit. Y'all don't believe water's wet unless Eddie Hearn says it. And then the next day when Eddie Hearn said water is not wet, you'll believe that. And you'll argue to the death of that. As if Eddie Hearn is the one fucking fighting. He's not even fighting. But anyways, moving on. So, March of this year, Eddie Hearn says, Joshua versus Wilder, it will be bigger than Tyson versus Lewis. Well, Tyson versus Lewis did $112 million. $112 million, and is to date the largest, the highest grossing fight in heavyweight history. Currently, at this moment. And Eddie Hearn himself said that Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua will do more than that. It will be bigger than that. Those were his words, not mine. A month later, not even a month later, the very next month in April, the very next month, this guy was saying, well, I don't know where everybody's getting this $100 million from. I don't know where they're getting this from. This fight is not $100 million. It's $60 million at best. And that's pushing it because my numbers, you know, are pretty accurate and all this other bullshit and how he would feel like shit if his numbers weren't accurate. But just the month before, like days before that, he was saying this fight is bigger. This fight will be bigger than Lewis Tyson. Days before that. So remember that. He said, Eddie Hearn said, this fight will do $60 million max. And that's pushing it. Those were his words. 60 million max. Well, you know, they're all back and forth with this $12 million. Here's your $12 million offer. I'm offering you 8.8 million pounds or $12.5 million. That's what I'm offering you, Deontay. I'm making you this offer. If you accept it, we will send you a contract. If you accept it. Deontay Wilder never accepted it. Never. So, a contract was never sent. Okay? You send a contract after an offer is accepted. If no offer is accepted, then you're not going to waste time, money, and effort into building and creating a contract that you know they're not going to sign. Which is the reason why Eddie Hearn did not fucking make a contract for the 12.5. That's the reason why. Well, you know, what happens next? Anthony Joshua opens his mouth. He's sitting on his high horse, thinking shit sweet. You know what I'm saying? So he opens his mouth, and he's like, oh, well, I know these motherfuckers, probably talking to Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn, like, they don't got no money over there. You know, they lost a purse bid with Povetkin. So they don't got no money over there. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Everybody loses a purse bid with Povetkin. Everybody. Rabinski's a billionaire. Everybody loses a purse bid with Povetkin. Everybody. All right, so moving on. But anyways, they say, oh, you know, they don't have no money over there because he lost the purse bid with Povetkin. So they don't have no money. That's proof that they don't have no money. So, you know, then he comes out. AJ comes out. You know, the muzzle is off the mutt. And the mutt starts barking. Eddie Hearn's mutt starts barking. Talking about how, you know, they think it's a 50-50 fight and it's not a 50-50 fight. You know, he's the A side and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and if they think this is a $50 million fight, well, fine, you know. No, he said, if he wants 60-40, well, you give me my 60 million, you know what I'm saying? Or, and even better, if they think this is a 50-50 fight, well, then give me my 50 million up front. Give me my 50 million up front, and I swear I'll sign this fight tomorrow. But they're not making deals like this, you know? Because they're not serious about this. I'm serious. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, you know? So if they're serious about this fight, well, give me $50 million, and I swear I'll sign this fight tomorrow. Those were the words of Anthony Joshua. Those were Anthony Joshua's words. Those were not mine. Those were not Deontay Wilder's. No one else's. Those were Anthony Joshua's words. So, what happens then? Well, you know, all this time, Deontay Wilder was saying, hey, how do I make these motherfuckers fight? You know, they're talking a good one, but I'm telling you I want this fight. What do you want? He says, give me anything. Anything you think I'm worth. Give me anything. Anything. And I will take it. Just as long as when I knock your ass out, you take that in the rematch. So, instead of Anthony Joshua saying, you ain't knocking me out, so this is what you're going to get. I'm going to give you $2 million. And I'm going to sign the contract that says if you beat me, I'll take $2 million in the rematch. Because the first fight is where all the money is going to be made at anyway. That's where the mystique and the aura is at. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to beat me. You ain't better than me. Remember what he said? I'll stick my chin out like this. 15 stone, he's mad. He's mad. 15 stone, he's mad. You know? That's what you were saying. So then what's the problem? You know, if I was Anthony Joshua and I actually believed the shit that I was saying, well, then I'd be like, what? Hell yeah, I'll take that deal. Here's $5 million. I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to give you $5 million, which is however many times your highest purse, 2 times your highest purse. I'm going to give you $5 million. I'm going to bless you as the king that I am. I'm going to bless you, Deontay Wilder, with $5 million. I'm going to sign the contract that says if you beat me, I'll take $5 million in the rematch. But you ain't going to beat me, so there ain't no fucking rematch. I'm not even worried about that. I'm going to spark your ass out in 3 rounds. just like Eddie Hearn said. But no, not the great AJ. No, not him. Wilder says, give me whatever you think I'm worth, as long as you're willing to take that in a rematch. And they say, nah, we're not doing that. Nah, we're not doing that. Why? Why would you not take that deal? You have no explanation for taking that deal. Your explanation is Joshua is the A side, win or lose. That's your that is your fucking claim to. That is how you explain that. Get the fuck out of here, man. Win or lose, he's the A side. Who the fuck in history? What the fuck are you talking about? So if Pacquiao would have beat Floyd Mayweather and then in a rematch, would Floyd still been the A side? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so fine, moving on, you know. So Wilder says, fine, these motherfuckers is playing games. They're playing fucking games with me. Okay, cool. 50-50. 50-50. Just like Joseph Parker said, give me 50-50. And that was exactly what you motherfuckers needed. Oh, Wilder's deluded. He's not serious. See, he's so delusional. He's living in fantasy land. Why? Can you get what he has without him? Tell me a scenario ever where you can get the WBC title without going through Deontay Wilder. Dillian White? Was that your fucking escape plan? Well, guess what? The champ said, I will fight Dillian White. I will fight Dillian White. No problem. No problem. I'll fight Dillian White. But as long as you put in the contract that the winner gets Anthony Joshua. You put that in the contract, the winner gets Anthony Joshua, I will sign to fight him. No problem. No problem. So then what do they do? No. Joshua and White are two separate deals. No, they're two separate deals. No. Joshua's not going to be, he's not going to be stuck in some contract with some other fighter. No, that's not how business is done. These guys are delusional. They're deluded. They just don't know how to do business. That's not how business is done. That was your excuses. Of course, y'all changed that since then, but that was your excuses.